Sorry about that. The coffee machine was taking longer than expected. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Let's put this over here. Still trying to test this the new software. Everything looks like it's working. Always trying what? What was I always trying? Always trying what, Neuro? You're messing me up, man. Um Hold on, my wife just messaged me. Hold on one sec, guys. All right. Not sure. Ask Debbie. Is Debbie starting trouble? I knew I couldn't trust Debbie in here. I knew it. I knew it. All right. Anyway, so obviously, Forex is kind of scattered right now. Yeah, retail sales number. Like I said, a little bit crazy. Anybody trying to do? Wait, what? No trouble. Maybe I just haven't had enough coffee. No, 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 no. Yeah, no. The coffee is good. Um, I've never seen, and I don't think here we'll just do it off of core. I mean, like obviously June 16th was a crazy number, and again, obviously May to June was COVID time, so you really can't use that as a like holy crap, right? Eh, Very very difficult. But you can see besides that, the misses are very very small. We're talking about minor percentages. So minus the craziness of COVID, take that data out. You can see even after that, it's very hard to miss by this much. And I wouldn't say we're in the COVID craziness time right now either, right? Because I mean, at this point, all we're seeing is all we're hearing about is how great everything is going with COVID. Well, yeah, but how much of that is because we haven't had any holidays in January, right? I mean, think about it. Where did the first December spike come from? Thanksgiving. Where did the crazy January come from? December, Christmas. So, as long as you don't have holidays, I mean, next thing you know, we can outlaw holidays. If we just outlaw holidays, we can beat COVID. That's the next step. It's a secret, yeah. No, it's called. I'm going to slice and dice it. And since I took over the presidency, we've had the highest retail sales number ever. Yeah, because it's a month over month number because you had a lot of control, right? Since that time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Had to get that in there. Um, but anyway, that's going to screw the markets up today because there will be some retraces back and forth. It's been great for the dollar. Obviously, certain things are getting crushed. Um, FOMC meeting notes today. Honestly, it's going to be really, really hard. I just got to say, I mean, I made the joke of it before. Um, it's very, very hard to look at this where our retail sales numbers are so great, economy is high, rates are super, super low, vaccines are rolling out, yet we need $1.9 trillion and nobody has any idea what to spend it on. So yeah, I mean, there's that, right? I mean, kind of a hard thing, right? I mean, I don't know. Did we need 1.9? You know, could potentially I don't know. Could the Republicans have been right saying that package is too big that we didn't need it? It's not. I mean, it's passed, but it's not like anybody's gotten a check, right? I haven't heard of anybody getting a check. I mean, maybe they have. I don't know, but I haven't heard of it. But when it's kind of like, well, when can we expect it? I don't know. When it's over? I mean, I don't know. Then what? They can put $1.9 trillion into something that had nothing to do with COVID recovery. I don't know. Like building a road right now is not COVID recovery, right? Protecting the environment is not COVID recovery. Those are infrastructure. Those are completely different things. And I feel like that's what they're going to try to use all the money for. And I hope they're held accountable. What is it? On top of 27 trillion worth of debt. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. The fact that I don't know. I mean, the debt, yeah, the budget thing was not good. It's like, oh, here we go. Increase spend, and I get it. I mean, obviously pandemic spending. Yeah, I get that. I get that they would increase, but you bash the last guy for doing it, and this is kind of the same thing, right? Like Obama took over the economy, and it's at the very very bottom. Like it was at the very very bottom, but all the measures that helped turn it around that were starting to kick in were put in from the guy before. But yet he was like, "Oh no, it's the best recovery ever." No, you took it over and it's nice when you can catch it at the very very bottom. And again, you have Warren Buffett saying it's a great time to buy. I mean, again, it all the things that stopped it we're already in, right? It's kind of the same thing. It's like, oh look, we destroyed COVID. It's like, yeah, because you help with I don't know. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about Biden's, 100 million people in the first 100 days. That has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with how fast they can produce and get the vaccines out, right? When you don't have vaccines to give people, I mean, Biden's not producing the vaccines. There's companies doing that, right? So yeah, it's a nice little thing to say. I'm going to pad my resume with something that has nothing to do actually with me. And if you disagree with me, get off the channel. I don't really care, right? Because it's not him. Okay, be honest with yourself. Is what it is. You can't even see it now. It was part of the hottest news, but now thankfully everything else is out there. It's not inflation. Everything else is over there. So yeah. So market's going to be a little bit funky. Watch out for FOMC. I don't think it's going to actually be a big mover today. If anything, it'll halt, maybe give us a little bit of a reverse. If this number wasn't as big, FOMC would have been there to watch, but it's just, you don't have to worry about it now. I do think tonight's Aussie number should be interesting. It could provide a reversal time. I feel like it's going to mean, again, the news is projected to be positive as far as the unemployment rate goes. The employment change is not the best. Obviously, it's less than before, but it is still positive. They have had lockdowns, so I'm hoping that they were able to power through those lockdowns and the unemployment rate is not going higher. Again, lockdowns are never necessarily good for the employment numbers, but that should already be in there. Because like I said, that wasn't a surprise. I mean, they knew the lockdowns were coming in. And like I said, even with that, they haven't changed this unemployment number. And again, you guys can see it has been coming down, right? I mean, we had the 6, the 6.8, the 6.6. So it is moving in the right direction, right? And again, same thing. Lack of any holidays, it should naturally be coming down. All right. So I think that that's in a good position. And as I showed in the Nate's presentation, I think Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, both of them are in great positions to kind of continue to help that, right? That Aussie dollar to kind of, again, probably lighten up a little bit, right? Take its pressure off a little bit. They still have some overall, issues with China back and forth, but this should be good. So, like I said, it should retrace what we're seeing today. All right. Hold on one sec. Let me do this. I had a window just pop up. Come on. And it's sucking resources. So going into tomorrow, tomorrow is pretty light. We have this Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which is supposed to be lower, but may actually surprise. And then again, remember, crude oil's tomorrow, but we will talk from now till then. Obviously, retail sales directly affects the dollar, so crude is getting hammered because of it. It actually started a little bit before the news, which leads me to believe that, hey, maybe somebody had this data a little bit earlier today. They knew what the retail sales number was going to be. Because, again, we did see movement before that news release came out. So, again, nothing really in the overnight we need to watch out for. Like I said, the biggest thing is going to be this Australian number. What is it? If there's no finger pointing, complaining. Ernest, that is a very good point. I feel like I'm going to go back. Hey, Ernest, by the way, you're a moderator and you have the ability to do this. Your voting thing, you can vote. I've seen this before with like Instagram models, right? You are now in the category of Instagram models. For your cooking competition, and correct me if I'm wrong, but can't you vote once a day for that one? I believe you can vote once a day for your cooking competition. And if you want, you're more than welcome to link that in chat. We all support your cooking escapades, even though it's a picture of you with no hat on. Even though, yeah. Once a day, yes. See? So, wait, what? I could ban right. No, you can't ban right. I don't think I give you ban rights. I think you could put people in timeout, but I'm not sure. But yeah, even though it's a funny picture of you with no hat on, and I've never seen you without a hat on. Exactly, right? See, Wealth Builder. Yeah, and did you hear his response? Did you hear Ernest's response? It was kind of like, I was forced to take that picture. Yeah, you were forced to take your hat off for the picture. What is this? The DMV? Motor Vehicle Administration for your driver license said, sir, take your hat off for this. The chef, you could have definitely worn your hat. Come on, man. It's about personality and flavor. And what are you doing? You're over there. I'm like, who is this man? Like, that's not Ernest. Like, who is this guy? And then I had to do that, one of those cover the top of your head. I'm like, well, maybe. I had to Photoshop a hat on you. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's Ernest. Maybe. Right? Maybe. But anyway, if you guys did not know yet, again, go over. Ernest will link it. Hopefully he puts it in chat. Like I said, help a brother out here. Go out there and vote for him for his food. It would be awesome for him to win this contest. Dreams coming true. And again, if the community can do it, that's an awesome way to do it. All right, so let's dive right over into really because of retail sales. Let's go in and we're going to do this backwards. Let's go right into gold and everything first. We'll go into the commodities. Now, you're seeing a bit of a retracement. We had talked about this yesterday, talked about this level being a zone that we've hit before. It's hit it a few times, and we were looking for a collapse of that level. And you can see it continued to drive through and pulled back and forth. There was actually an entry that came in at about 7:30 this morning, right around 8 o'clock, right? The news came out at 8:30. So the move had happened kind of pre-market. And all it had done is basically chop through this level enough that we knew that, hey, listen, this is not going to be, I'll go back to the 30-minute. We didn't expect this to hold up anymore. And again, it hit it here. We knew that. It hit it again, hit it and rode along the top. It's like, all right. It's due for a break. Let's look for any way. It's not going to provide any type of resistance at this point. Let's look for a pullback. And we ended up getting it. It came back up into this level of basing. It dropped, it pulled through, and it popped here once. So there was a great trade in this one. It went to about 1 to 6 before it started the retrace. And again, completely, you always expect some type of a retracement. Now, this did go off of a level. I think it was on, and I find this on the hourly. I feel like I found it on the hourly. I'll just use this one here. Believe it was on the hourly. There was a level back there and not the higher time frame. Yeah, there's a little bit of level. Yeah. So you can see in this chop right here. See where this kind of came down? You have this little push down and up. Again, it came to the same exact area, right? The buyer stepped in at the same exact spot. So kind of a predictable area. Is it an area that you wanted to get long off of? Probably not. It's a little bit risky at that point. But again, it was definitely an area for a profit target to the way down. As far as that short goes. So again, we're looking for that push. I would say once we start holding here, again, all we're hearing is no inflation, no inflation, no inflation, no inflation. None of these things are great for gold. So, I do think the targets back down here at 1760 are within reach. I mean, obviously we've pushed back up. We're at 1780. We're about $20 off. But again, that was a nice drop to the downside today based off of retail sales. And I think that can continue forward. Again, the more we hear about, it's not inflation. This is just normal. We're doing good. The economy is great. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, all that, everything, which is the exact opposite of what we were told was happening, right? The kind of bait and switch. I think it's a viable target to the downside. Is there a trade in it right now? Nah, probably not. I mean, at this point, it's a little bit, a little bit far. Even on a 15-minute, you can see it's pulling back up. It's looking for some sellers. And, there's some buyers, obviously, here with the way that the wicks of these formed in here. So, maybe it'll pull. Let me see. I'll pull these two out. Maybe, again, this is kind of on a smaller time frame, but we know we got a little area right here. So maybe that's kind of the new area that we'll find, that previous zone that was violated. Maybe that's where we find the sellers coming in, and now is what pushes us down to 1760. So, it is getting close to 10 o'clock. We would be looking for reversals. Again, it dropped all the way down to here at the open. Kind of in here is where we got that initial push up. Again, profit taking. And now let's see if we continue to push back to the downside to 1760. Now, it's directly going across, and again, I don't necessarily trade gold as often. Silver, very similar, but much choppier. So again, we're looking for price to come down. It still hasn't done it. It's much uglier, right? This is much, much uglier on a 15-minute than what we see in gold. And again, because it's not directly linked to inflation, you're going to see that. I wouldn't really say there's many quality setups right now in silver. As I said, we wanted to come down and kind of base across here and collapse, but it can't get through. It's having major issues. It can't even get that low. But look at oil, okay? So oil got hammered. We were as high as 61.20 all the way down to, 59.38. So almost $2 drop before we ended up running into that zone again. Now, let me move this actually to the side just a little bit, get it out of the way. Over to here. As you can see, I missed it by 2 cents. So I missed it by 2 cents. Anyway, this zone at this point has obviously been dinged left and right. We'll put it right there. Okay. We're just waiting for a collapse of this zone at this point, right? All we need is the punch through the base and the pullback, and then we have our short targets at 58.50 and 58. Again, this zone can't hold much longer. I mean, it was tested here, pushed, and again, this was a spike down. So you expected it to hold on the spike, but again, it's going to look for some basing and look for a short on this one. Todd is convinced that this one's going to go to 70 before it's over. I don't know what weather patterns look like in Texas over the next 4 or 5 days, but I don't know. I mean, the oil industry is not crippled forever, right? It's not like there was so much ice that they've lost all the wind generators, right? Or the oil storage facilities were so cold that all the oil froze and they cracked open, right? It's not like we've seen that. I know you Texans feel like it's that cold, but it is not that cold. There are other parts of the country that are much colder than you guys are in Texas. I didn't even see which. I mean, let's see. Weather. Whoops. Wait, where did I just type that at? I'm not sure where I typed that at. That's over here. Now I have to check because my sister complained. It's only 33. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's supposed to be 44 on Friday, 50 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday, 55 on Monday, 62 on Tuesday, and next Wednesday, the high is supposed to be up to 68 degrees. So yeah, you guys got a couple days that it's a little bit colder, and then you're back up into the 70s. So I know the world is ending. I know my sister's like that too. We don't even have coats. Yeah, my sister's pool. One of the obviously you don't expect super cold temperatures, so they don't have like the crazy pipes like we have in Maryland. Our pipes don't burst here, right? But yeah, her pool, the pipes burst. They got a brand new pool last summer, and it got so cold the pipes burst. I was like, sucks to be you. I don't know what to say. I mean, did you not know there was a storm coming? You know, did you not have any preparation? No. Okay, I can't help you. So, right. But yeah, so I mean, by this time next week, it's going to be 70 degrees back in Austin, Texas again. So yeah, is oil going to go to 70? I don't think so. I'd be looking for a break. Like I said, I think short trades here down to $58, $58. I think are both at decent levels. But again, look for the break. Look for the break in that one. All right, let's switch back over and go into currency realm. So here's Aussie dollar. I mentioned earlier that we could get some type of a pop off of this one. The 77.27 area, decent level in the past. We've had it kind of front run, and we've kind of bounced off of it right now. I do like this lower level again for news later on tonight. As you guys know, I've been talking about it all week. I'm really looking forward to it tonight. I really hope it doesn't hit exactly as expected, like a 29,000 employment number, like a 31,000, coming right at 6.5. I'm looking for a kind of a big mover, and again, drop it down to 30 minutes. Couple decent levels here. Again, we have this 77.27. I'm hoping that's not the reversal for the day. I'd like to go a little bit lower in order to take one off that lower area here, or again, look for Harry Potter. And again, it's going to depend. We got, 10 hours to go? 10 hours to go on this one. I mean, if we base and kind of roll back, maybe. If we push down, again, we can, if it's really bad. But I feel like this is going to be an upper today more than a downer. I think Australia's due for it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I got a couple different trades set up in here when we get down to those levels. But anybody was taking kind of short intraday plays here, this is not a horrible zone. About 10 pips. So, I mean, you need that level of movement up top. Oops, no, not that one. Oh, that's interesting. It's a double level in there. I'll do it off this one. There we go. It's not bad. I think the 1 to 3 may have a little bit of an issue, but again, the 1 to 5 is all the way up top again. That'd be quite an ambitious target for later on today, right? Quite an ambitious target. So a couple things with the Aussie that we have going. But again, could you have used this off the open? Sure, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as much downward pressure as we saw in the dollar, you do expect a reversal. And again, that's what we're getting right now in this one. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, again, we have a Harry Potter trade set up here, and we push it down to the brink, which I'm fine with. I'm okay that it stomached that one all the way to the downside. We pushed it to about here, so there's only about 3 pips left in that zone. This one, I'm kind of, I kind of want this one to break down. I would like this one to come back down. I'd really like to get this back down to this 81 level. Down in here, I really would like to get back down here. I think we've held up high for so long. I know that goes exactly opposite of kind of getting that Aussie push, but I'd really like to see this kind of come down. I'd like to get the break, 81.73 break, targets on at 81.40, 81.19. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Thank you. Yes, I have to switch. No, it's not a trading view chart. No, I was switching across. Here's the Aussie dollar one. Again, there's the 77.27. I forgot. I have to switch it up here. I can't do it off a monitor. I mean, I can, but then you get all the icons across the bottom. The icons can be annoying, right? Like if I can do this view, but then you guys can see all the icons like over here, and it annoys me. So I have to, I switch it around just to keep it a little cleaner. There you go. But also yen, that's kind of what I'm looking for as far as the drop goes, right? And again, we got close. The alert hasn't gone off yet, though. So again, waiting for the alert to go at 81.73. Euro yen. So euro yen, I was really, if you guys remember yesterday, I was really hoping this would push back up into the 129.17 before we got data this morning because I expected a rollover. I was just hoping we'd get more of a push and help yesterday, but unfortunately we didn't. It sucks. I was like, come on, I want to get short. I want to get short. And yesterday we were sitting here, and I was like, come on, just go a little bit more. And it didn't. We hit 7 o'clock last night, and it just went straight down. So I was looking for the play down. I just wanted it to go higher to be able to get in. Unfortunately, I didn't get my entry on this one. So, it's pushed down. I don't really have anything on this one right now. There's nothing really to say about it. On a 4-hour basis, I would expect this, the shorts on this one at this point to go down to back down here in the 127.81, 18 range. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it is a nice mover, but we just didn't. I wanted it to go higher to hit that higher time frame zone, and it went and just rolled over. It's like, oh, yeah, it happens. Oh well, not the end of the world. Few hiccups, but like I said, the 27.18 here is a decent level. You can see it on the higher time frames. I'll be looking for price to come down to there today. I mean, it's got about 35 more pips to go to the downside. So I mean, maybe not. We'll see what you can do with that one. Okay. Let's go across the pound yen. So pound yen, same thing. I wanted this to go back up higher before it dropped. I did expect there was going to be a drop today. Same thing. We didn't get it. I wanted to come down. It's sitting on that level right now. This is exactly where we wanted it, but I was hoping we get a little bit more of a push yesterday. And again, the pound disappointed me. I wanted it to go up. So right where we are right now, again, this 46.39 level, it's an area where we've had basing. It's been a bottom. It is now a bottom a second time. So at this point, I'm almost, I'm kind of looking and saying, all right, I know I got two zones in here. This first one is pretty much gone. There we go. This one should be gone. When this is over, it'll probably print and it'll be gone. But not worried about this one. I'm looking for somewhat of a short position in here. I'm probably going to drop it and use, again, where the blue lines are right now, I'm probably going to take it this direction. Again, there's enough room to the downside. There's a little tiny bit of hiccup here, but the 1 to 3 is in a decent position, right? This would look like, let's see, what color is this going to be? Red. Something along these lines, right? And then it'd be a green kind of down here. Looking for this to push lower. Something along those lines, right? And again, I like the fact that it ate this one up. I want to see if we can get through this one. It may take one bounce off of it, the way that it's looking today with as far as market news and what we see later on today. We may need one hit or two hits to go through this one, but I'm kind of looking for that push. And again, the 1 to 3 target is here. Ultimately, I would say that the better target would be a bit lower. I'll just pull another price tag out. I would say shorts in this one down to 145.37 is probably a better bit of an entry. And again, that's going from the top quad, the top third into the middle. So I'm into that one as far as taking shorts. Could you take a long off of this zone? Sure, you could. Again, you'd be going long in this upper section. So again, that's just a little bit risky in my eyes. But for the most part, I mean, we are kind of obviously we have the downturn aspect of this going, right? Yeah. I mean, it's trying to see what else we can get out of this one, but yeah, we're probably going to take one bounce off of this zone. It's probably going to be at least one. Trying to see what we're going to stabilize here on though. This candle's going to mess it up. How much more we got? It's about 25 pips away. Yeah, I mean, I would assume this is what we're going to run into. A bit of a push. Question is that where we're going to hit, where we're going to stop? Wait a minute, I guess I could do this over here. That's probably going to be the big question, is probably here. Question is, do we use that as the entry? There's sellers forming right here. Again, they're coming back up, but there's a little bit of a battle going on. Yeah, I mean, we're still good for the Harry Potter, though. So again, wait for a break of 146.23 and look for that. Again, It's probably going to bounce, so this is probably not going to be a now. It's going to be an over here thing. It may be a tomorrow. It may be an overnight thing. Um, we'll see. But yeah, there's going to be a bit of a bounce off of this one, unfortunately. But then again, look for targets. If you get short 146.23, look down for 145.30, 37. All right, that's a decent runner. I mean, you're talking about 80 pip move to the downside. The 1 to 3 is at 63, so even that is a great intraday trade level to push back down. But yeah, I'm hoping that this bounce does not take us too far. Hopefully, it stops us right here. If it comes back up, it may be a while before we can get into this position. But it's there. We don't know when it's going to hit, but eventually it will. All right, so we talked about 138.44 being the target for the short. Obviously, you guys can see that we tagged the short, came back up, and got a second entry in. Right now, we're in that middle of the curve and it's starting to get a little bit choppy in the 30 minutes. So, this one is out. We'll take this off just to clean the chart up a little bit. We're in an hourly zone right now as well as a 30-minute. I think if we drop to here, yeah, you guys can see it a little bit better. Kind of a hard play, right? I do like the fact that we have this big kind of racetrack sitting over in here, right? I do like that for a short. Getting into it may be a little bit tricky. And again, going from middle to low is okay. We could potentially see this, right? I like the 137.94 long. I do think that was a decent base, a stop, and I like the way that it rallied off of it. But again, in no man's land section here, you need to be cautious. The question is, can we hold this much dollar strength, pound weakness? And again, it's not really pound weakness. It's just the dollar is imposing its will. Kind of looking for this one to push a bit lower, right? Kind of need to go lower, right? I like how it's basing here, right? I do like how it is basing. So, let me see. Could we potentially set something up in here? Maybe. Oof. Kinda. We're talking about 6. There's 12. I don't love that setting there. Kind of want to see if we come down and we base. If we drop and then base here, that would give us our entry. I'm wondering. Let me change this so you guys don't go yellow. Kind of. I want to see kind of where there's a base. If we can form a base at this level and then drop, that would give us a short entry, right? That would give us a short entry of a break of 138.50. And again, I would be okay with that. As you can see here, I mean, I'm on the 15-minute. You can see there's no 30-minute candles. There's no 30-minute levels in here down until we get to 37.90. So, I mean, you're talking about a 40, 45 pip run to the downside. We don't know what the established level of risk is, but I do know I like the distance, right? I mean, 45 here, even if it's 10, you're talking about a risk level of about that far, which that could be, it would be a risk, about that much, which that would be okay. I would be fine with that. And then again, you'd be looking for, a potential profit target down to this level here, right? But again, we got to see the basing. This is when you're gonna have to watch a little bit longer today. But again, okay with that. And again, going from middle of the curve down to the low on the curve is where that trade would be set up. Looking at euro pound. So euro pound yesterday, we mentioned we're in a 4-hour zone. It's going to take a lot. I was expecting to see this continue to grind lower. We're in the very, very bottom section of it now. And again, is it time for that reversal to step in? We are at the 4-hour. Again, it is a refined level. We talked about this being the entry, and it's kind of hit this level and just stopped. It hasn't moved right here at the 86.29. It's the level we drew yesterday, whether or not you're looking to get into it or not. Again, I wouldn't say that there's been amazing movement off of it. Like I said, it hit, it went up, kind of went a little bit lower. Now it's kind of stabilizing. There's buyers here, there's sellers here. There's a lot of consolidation. I mean, we got 2 hours left in this market. I don't think. Let me see. I don't think. I can go here real quick. We have any strong. Friday morning is the next time we have a lot of data here. And again, I'll switch this back so you guys can see it real quick. Here's Friday morning. Here's all that pound and European data, right? And again, this is the month-over-month retail sales. You can see that CPI was looking good today, all right, for the pound. So again, that's a positive. Is it going to hold? It's only got about 24 pips to the downside, but it doesn't have a whole lot of catalyst. So yeah, I would say that there's probably something here, maybe to the top side. Like I said, it's grinding, it's trying to go lower, but eh, man, I'd like it, but without any catalyst or anything, it's kind of like, ugh. I mean, how much risk is it? It's about 22 pips. 66 is a lot. I guess it's actually 80 up there, but that's a lot. Yeah, so this one is here. I'm torn on it. Again, maybe your risk tolerance is will allow you to take this one. I mean, I'm on an hourly right now, and like I said, it's a 4 hour level. I like it. Again, I in this case, I am actually more. I am more in the camp of being bullish the pound. But I do think that the euro is definitely beat up a bit. We get any type of good data on Friday, and again, has multiple opportunities between France, Germany, overall euro numbers. Maybe the pound disappoints. I do feel like the euro is due for some type of a bounce. So I do feel that there's something in here. Um, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% in love with this trade, but on a technical basis, I could see a reversal of some sort, at least some type of a pop. And if you do take this one long, remember you get to like 1.5 to 1. Again, move your stop loss to break even. There's no point in taking risks. Um, you know, with this pair, it's going to be a slow mover right now. There's what we got for the euro. Again, the euro has had much play. Again, look at this. We were able to not only break through that level here, but then we retested it to the downside. Let's reestablish. This should be on the 4 hour. There we go. 4 hour. Like we're turning right there. Let's go ahead and mark this off. Delete these two numbers. Again, look at that. That got chopped through and came right back and retested. I don't remember why I had this here. Yeah, I don't know why I had that there. Let's do 3 o'clock. Starts there. And there's the 9 o'clock candle. Not sure why I had that red one there. May have talked about a punch through that level. Anyway, as you guys can see, it is bouncing off this 1 hour zone right now. Bringing it back to the 4 hour, you can see that it's kind of in the middle of the range. Actually, it should be here, right? I'm gonna steal this guy and bring him here, right? So let's see. Take this, put that right there. I wonder if that's on an hourly. Yeah, you can see it on the hourly. All right. So parabolic move down. I would say that this one is set up to continue to push up higher. Again, it is kind of playing in the middle of the range here. So again, the probabilities of this one are a little bit less. You knock it down from like an A kind of reversal down to like a B level reversal. And again, the reason why is because again, we typically like to go long when it's in the lower, short from the top side, and we're kind of spank in the middle right here. So the 1 to 3 is in a decent spot, up at 120.59. Again, it's a little bit into the entry. I mean, if we can get a pullback on this one, if we can get a little of a pullback kind of test in to show us that, hey, listen, we're looking for buyers, that could be where it turns. And I do think that we will get a reversal. As I said, kind of just like the euro pound chart, I feel like the euro is overly beat up. I feel like it is doing it. And again, maybe the impulse move is completely down and we're looking for a bit of a, correction move. I just feel like it's been beat up so much that it's due for a bit of a kind of a pullback. So again, slow pullback to this area with FOMC. FOMC could absolutely today give us some news that is somewhat weak. Again, talking about how I don't know. Maybe they talk about. I'm trying to think what they would even say at this point. I mean, again, talking about it's kind of hard. Like, what would they say that is weak dollar? I mean, with retail sales going great, they're saying that the inflation is normal. I mean, trying to think what language they would use to talk about it today. I mean, the last we heard, interest rates aren't going anywhere until 2023. But I mean, I don't know. How do you justify that when we're seeing? Yeah, they're saying that the inflation we see is healthy, right? We haven't even spent stimulus money. Retail sales is skyrocketing. At what point will they start to think about maybe raising interest rates? I mean, we're not quite there yet, but I don't know. Do we need 2 years? Do we need 2 years to wait when retail sales is already coming in that much higher than expected? I don't know. I'm curious to see what they say, but again, that could be an interesting kind of long today. Getting long the 20 basically 2029 up to the 2060, so about 30 pips range to the top side. Could be an interesting little setup there. Dollar CAD. So Dollar CAD ended up punching through that level. I had some issues. It did give us a little bit of a pullback. We were hoping that we'd get down to the 26, and it didn't. It just ended up, punching through, punching through, punching through, and eventually went higher. It did grab that upper level though, which is interesting, right? It missed it by just a very tiny bit, about 4 pips. This is one of those ones that is, was pretty difficult. And again, this was the level we talked about. You had and again, it actually started here, right? So there was your one, there was your two, three ended up breaking, four broke, and that's where it really went crazy on the top side. Um, I would say, be short this one. It's kind of a little bit late to get into it now, but I would say downside targets coming back down into this range. And again, this is where we had. I'm just gonna use this one zone now because we don't need it because it's already done. It served its purpose. Um, this is a level here where we've really seen a decent amount of basing, right? Here, 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 came back down, based in, based in, based in. So, it's a level that you want to make sure that you are out before we hit that level, but it could also be a bounce for later on today. Um, it's about 30 pips down. So from now, in 4 hours, it could travel that. But I would say if you guys are in a position now short, I think you're in a decent position. I'd be willing to hold this down to the really 127, which is sitting right here. Right, 127 is going to be a psychological level with the double zeros. Have it pull, and again, depending on if we've been able to break or bounce, again, I think this is a very interesting trade setup. I mean, two things that I'm looking at is one, kind of this space here, right? I think this space here is definitely one to kind of keep your eye on. We did have some, buyers step in right here, right? There's some buyers. So with a break of that level, could we have a potential push down? Sure, sure, right? And again, that would bring us down to 126.30, something along those lines. All right. And it is right below this level. So I think as far as what we do from now till FOMC, take this one short. Again, look for a bounce. But yeah, yeah, this is not a level I'd be willing to take long of. Maybe with a confirmation bounce, but I'd be very cautious with it. This would be more of a downside target for today. Okay. Um, and then this is an area here as well. Watch the 126.72. If we get a break of 126.72, again, my target is going to be 126.30 to the downside, another 40 pip runner down. All right, and I do think we will get back down here. I don't think this is. I think a lot of this dollar stuff is kind of great, but this is all great if they were going to raise interest rates. They're not going to raise interest rates, so we'll see. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss also, again, here's a level up top that we had talked about. There's 189. It came back up, and you guys can see it did touch. Here, I'll grab the top so you guys don't feel like I'm cheating. There, and there's the top. I do think this one will roll. And again, targets for this to the downside, you can see that the 1 to 3 is sitting right there. Right, here's your 1 to 3 target based off of that level, which also just happens to be right here. Right, ends up being right there. So there's your profit target, coming down to there, right there. And this one also, I do believe, again, I think there is more dollar weakness involved in this. Like I said, we're printing money left and right, even though all the data is good. I just don't think they're going to raise interest. I think they're going to let it run hot. So I think they'll continue to go. So yeah, look for a rollover, 89.50 to the downside, and then secondary targets would be. It's a little funky right here, probably down here. Yeah, this is a little funky here. Overall, though, back down to this level. And again, this was for those that have been following. This has been a level we were looking for. This kind of rollover, or this bounce, right here. So yeah, looking for the retracement. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, you guys can see. Obviously, it held this morning. We had this 106.31. This is a level again, small one. We're waiting for this one to kind of combine with news, and it did. It rode right up into that level, hit the level, and kind of rolled back again on us. It didn't quite make it to its 1 to 3, and again, it is channeling sideways. It got within 3.5 pips, which sucks because there was a profit target on that one. I would say I don't need this one here. Overall, I like this one coming back down to the 105.70 area. And again, we've now hit this basing level 3 additional times from here, 1, 2, and 3. So this starts to turn red. Again, profit target 1 off this short is at 105.70. There is a wick over wick here, but I'm not as concerned about that one. I think profit target 2 needs to be at 105, 105.30. So kind of looking at, I mean, really, if this is your profit target 1, and again, you guys should already be short this position. I hope you guys are short this position. But there's profit target 1 for me, and then profit target 2 is kind of like down to this level here. Something along those lines. Right? Not as worried about this little kind of wick over wick here. But that's what I'd be looking for the rest of today. And again, FOMC can absolutely screw this one up. Come on, FOMC. Help us mess this one up. Because I am short this position. I would like to continue this run. A bit longer. All right, NQ. So NQ is getting hammered, right? Hasn't been the best morning. We had a couple. There was that little short entry from yesterday that we talked about on a 15-minute. This is what you're dealing with today, right? You can see there was a 30-minute level. This 30-minute level, though, missed at 7:45 by just a little tiny bit. There's your 30-minute level. So, I mean, you could say, yes, it hit the hourly, right? It did hit an hourly level, but most of our stuff is all in the smaller time frame. So, kind of a hard one to grab. It's like, we just missed it, and now it's pushing lower. So, and again, we talked about this one, this number over here, the 135. I'm sorry, the 13. We saw basing here before in the past, right? Let me pull this out. You guys can see. Actually, we do it on 30 minutes. Fine. You guys can see this level right in here, and that's what we ran into. So I would expect a bounce or a drop at this point. I mean, we obviously pulled back up, hit it again, came back. So I mean, we've had 3 successive hits in a row in a 15 minutes. And it's been a level that is held, right? I mean, we talked about it as being a target to the downside. We saw basing, we saw a hit, and again, now it's been hit again, one time, hit again, and then hit a third time. So I would say it's coming through. If you guys are looking for any reversals on this one, I'd be surprised if this is where we reverse, but as you guys can see, just a little bit lower down here. I think this 135.55, although it's been pushed pretty much to the brink, it's only done it one time. I think that's probably a level where we'll get a bounce. And again, you'd be looking for kind of a pullback. And again, you need the confirmation pattern on this one. Looking for that. And again, also could be an FOMC, could be an end of the day rally. But I would stay negative this one right now. I think this zone has minutes left to survive. But again, it would have been your target for any short. So, nice target. Not much we can do with it now. I don't expect it lasting much longer. And again, if we can get down, I don't know if we can get down to this level by like noon, that could also be an interesting way to kind of rally off of it. So, unfortunately, it's just a little frustrating when even on like the 30 minutes, like it's like 15-minute. We've been trading those. It's like, yep, you missed it. Could we have gotten in for a 30-minute? Nope, missed the 30-minute. Wait, but there's a 60-minute zone there. And then when you go to the 60-minute, you're like, oh yeah, I got it, right? It's like, how many zones do we have to go? Like, how close can we be to get front run on that one and have it miss on multiples? So, there was your trade. And again, it was a little bit early today before the overall market. It's like the market knew. Imagine that. S&P. So S&P, again, hopefully we were looking to get up to the 39.48, and then we were looking for a drop back down. It didn't do it. It had so many problems kind of, pushing through this level. Here's your 15-minute. We expected the profit target 1 to the downside needed to be respected, 31.17. As you guys can see in this candle right here, this initial push down, it literally tagged this level and popped off the hourly, right? You can see that was your first hit here, and then up. Actually, if I go back in time, I can probably find it. There you go. There was your first hit and punch up, and then a punch down into the lower level, and then up, and now we're pushing through again. So, I mean, at this point, I would say that this one really doesn't have much holding it back. And it's kind of hard. I wouldn't say there's any really crazy explosive bit of movements. You can see where it kind of tagged into right here on the hourly, which is fine. Let me see. Do we have a decent rollover? See, this is what I don't like. I don't like that we have these 3 right here. This, and this. It's basically showing me that we have buyers sitting in this area right here. Right here. And again, there was the initial level. And then it got front run off of here and front run off of here. So I would say this across. Let's change this out of the crazy green color, and we'll put it into white. Just put ourselves there. Actually, that's off by a little bit. That's fine. Let me drop down to 30 minutes. Make sure we got a good level on that one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's adjust. We're going to take this and we're going to use this on the side. Again, so there's a potential reversal. And again, I don't see us running into too much from now till then. Again, it is a bit of ways away, but if I'm looking at the curve right now, again, using like an hourly curve, which is going to be kind of, on the smaller side, I'd say I'd be looking at this right now. Again, trying to figure out top or bottom wise what's gonna make the most sense for you. Again, we're looking for this. I'll just use this one right here in the middle. Right. So again, on an hourly, you would have gotten this entry. It's about the only way to have grabbed this one. Actually, do I want the 39 up there anymore? Let's see. Do I want that one? No, we'll go higher. We'll go here. Yeah, we'll use that one right there. So kind of sitting here. And again, you guys can use your own numbers, but approximately there. 39.57 to 38.86 is kind of the top and bottom. We're in the middle range right now. Look for it to push down. If we can get a confirmation bounce off the 38.86, if you're trying to draw this on yours, go to an hourly chart. Do it off of the gap candle over here where this initially took off. Again, that was one tested level here. So we have seen buyers step in, and they step in the top 10% of that zone. So not a bad little level. It's got some room to run, though, to the downside. And I would expect this to continue to push down. Question is, will the lower section right here, again, be able to kind of step in one more time? But like I said, every time it hits an area and bounces, it's going to lose some more momentum. And like I said, we already know there's going to be some hiccups on the way down. But question is, how much strength are these sellers going to have, and how much longer is it going to last until it evaporates? Looking at the Dow, looks very similar. Again, the Dow, we were looking for this to come down and bounce. It wasn't able to do it. It stayed and maintained inside of its range here. I think we originally did that off the hourly. Yeah, we talked about that one on the hourly. Yeah, I mean, when we drew the curve, right? When we drew the curve, here, I'll move it to the side so you guys can see it. This was the range that we said we expected to stay in, and it literally went all the way down, and it turned from that same level. We can probably see it. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there. It broke right through just the backside of it, which is fine. It's whatever. But there's your new swing. There's your bounce. And again, retail sales is always good for this number. So I would say that the curve is still probably valid. You know what? Let's change this. Whoops. Let's change this to here. Boom. Right there. So although I'd maintain bearish positions, again, on the lower time frames, you could have traded a little bit in here, and you can see, it did tag and is now pushing back to the downside. Trying to just clean these off now. It went down and completed. Do we want to keep that one? No, we'll start clearing that. We got to watch it. I mean, it's still sitting there. I don't think this will hold much longer, but I do think this one stays bearish today in any positions. Again, at 10:30 right now, I would say that the reversal's already occurred on this one. This one would have, again, rolled out of the 15-minute reversal. And again, you guys can see it. Right here is the 10 o'clock reversal going off a small level that was tested here. Actually, front run here. We touched it on a spike up off the open and then kind of rolling back down again. So I would say profit target wise, again, 31,381 is a decent level to be able to take profit on this. Again, if we get any type of basing, I would watch this one. I think this one can go lower and actually extend the curve back a bit. We're probably getting to the stage now where there's not a lot of clean in there. There's a lot of junk in there. Same thing. It's got those ascending wicks in there. It's kind of the pain. probably going to. I'm gonna probably drag this down. Probably to there. This one is going to be adjusted back, and this is the larger time frame curve right now. And again, we're starting to look at areas back in here. There's a bit of a gap. Let me see if we can go back and see that and get it dialed in a little bit better. Yeah, it's kind of this area here where this gap is occurring. Like I said, it's had a couple of retests through, but kind of it's not the cleanest of levels, but kind of in here. And again, it's I know that the 20s here. It's kind of big on this one too. This is gonna be one of those ones. It's gonna be challenging to draw this one, but probably I think I like that better. Somewhere along those lines, right? Is what I would use for the intraday. So yeah, I mean, look for this to push back down. I think if this one settles down here, 31,383 before FOMC could give us an interesting kind of end of the day rollover. Like I said, it's been kind of literally chopping back and forth inside of this upper end of the curve, so it hasn't been the most exciting thing, but it's decent. All right, with that said, guys, it's 10:26. We already did gold, silver, and oil. Let me see if anything is crazy happening. No, I'll switch back to this so you guys can see it. Oil is again, we had the bit of the retracement. We expected to get it, and now you're starting to see red and kind of roll. So, this target, again, the break of the 59.36 is still there. Again, looking for those to push down. So that one is decent. Looking at gold, again, gold came back up, and interesting enough, look at that. There was the previously violated zone that we talked about, right? We said let's see if this is the turn point off that previous violated zone, and it did. It's dropped what $10 already from gold. So hopefully somebody was able to grab that one back to the downside, and then silver is still kind of just silver's confused, chopping back and forth. And I wouldn't say anything else in here is amazing. Bitcoin's still going higher. Natural gas is down today. And it's like, oh wait, don't we need natural gas for heating oil? Yeah, natural gas is collapsing. Oh wow, look at Dogecoin. It's going down again. Elon Musk is like, yes, everybody, they should sell it and get out of it. And then poor old GameStop. Look at that, all the way back to where it was. All the way back. Although I guess it could get, I guess $20 is where it needs to really go back to. So we're not quite there yet. So somebody is still like, oh God, I'm still making some money. Somebody is not. Somebody's making money, right? Because somebody has it at $20, and now it's at 47. Besides that, nothing else is in here. Oh, Apple's taking a hit today. Tesla, and again, remember this is we're going for Tesla 500. That's what we're shooting for. We want Tesla 500. Again, it's looking good so far, guys. Look at that. The top that was put in there, we're looking good so far. Liking it so far. Come on, Tesla 500. So, no, why would you mute Elon? No, let him talk. Eventually, he's going to get busted for manipulating the markets. He's going to be considered a person of interest, and like Buffett. Buffett has to be very careful with what he says. Pretty soon, Elon is also going to have handcuffs, especially because Elon is manipulating the market with what he's saying. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, should he say those things and be able to profit from it? The answer is not really. I'm sure there'll be some, I don't know. He's just got to piss off. Like I'm telling you right now, this goes to 500. Elon's done. Nancy will make him disappear. Nancy will call Hillary and make Elon disappear, and you're not gonna have to worry about Elon ever again. Because if her husband loses those millions of dollars off of this one, Nancy will be pissed. He'll come under the light. She'll give Hillary a call, and he will disappear. That's what's going to happen. Just Buffett care now. I mean, Buffett obviously cares, but I think more of the question is Buffett 100% there anymore, right? I mean, it's Buffett doesn't play in the same world. I mean, trust me, you're going to hear what he does later on down the road. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, we took a short oil position here. We did this. We did that. Yeah, I mean, he plays on such a different level and plays with different tools than we play with. It's a little bit, more difficult. Um, so, yeah, look at that dollar index has not started to pull back yet. Actually, yeah, look at that. Still continuing to push. Man, I'd love for this to go higher. Keep messing this thing up. But all right, so let's go ahead and do the drawing. I know I put the drawing in earlier today. Here's what we got. I gotta put it and make it part of this. There we go. Look at that. No, I don't want to subscribe to Bloomberg. All right. All right, I will give you guys another 45 seconds. I'll take Ford. Yeah, we want Tesla 500. We definitely want Tesla 500. We want to stick at the Nancy. Because that was absolutely, without a doubt, taking advantage of policies that she knew that were going to go into effect that the average Joe did not go into effect and should be held accountable. I don't care if she, claimed that she did it. It was after the fact. So. Neuro. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Who won yesterday? Do you guys remember? Remember, actually, it doesn't matter. Today's not a double day. Today's a 50 pip day because it is Wednesday, so I forgot, so it doesn't matter. All right, so let's see. Winner of today's pip chip total is Ecky. Look at that, my man. Ecky, it's been a while since you've won. But I feel like, Ecky, you keep winning a lot of the 50s. Because I remember last week I did the same. I feel like how like Ross likes to grab Fridays and Mondays. I really feel like you're like the Wednesday guy. Right? I really feel like you're the Wednesday guy. Let's go leaderboard. Where's Ecky at? Right here. I do. I feel like you keep winning these double days. It is like I won, but yeah. And there's that thing. Oh, Ernest, did you linked it, right? The chef thing? Where's the chef thing? I felt like you linked it. There it is. There you go. Look at this, guys. So again, if anybody's watching, if you guys could literally, let me see. Can I copy it? Here, let me copy it. I'm gonna put it in chat one more time. If everybody could please go over there today to ensure that Ernest wins. Again, post it on your Instagram. Do what you got to do. Again, anytime we can support the community, get in there and do your vote. Look at this. We're gonna work with Ernest about getting everything in focus. You guys can see that the noodles are a little out of focus over here. We gotta get this man a little bit better of a phone. And then look at this picture. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. My man, but with no hat, right? With no hat. I'm telling you, it's throwing me off completely with no hat. But look, here is Ernest's food. So get out there and vote for my man. Look at this one. He's got a little filter action going here. We're gonna get him fixed. I can't vote again for 4 hours. Well, make sure you guys get in there. Let's support each other whenever we can. Again, this could give him the opportunity to win $20,000 and be in Bon Appetit magazine, which would be very, very cool. I would love to be able to say that. I got a guy that's in here. And again, for the right price, for a few pip chips, Ernest will actually share his recipes, right? The pip chip trading. So again, let's support everybody when we can. With that said, guys, I am out of here for the day. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. You guys have a good day, and I'll catch you then. Take care.